So if you want to build up your shoulders, you want to make sure that you're doing the most effective and efficient exercises to get results faster. And I'm sure most of you don't have a ton of time to figure out which exercises and workouts produce better results. That's why I want to go over the only shoulder exercises that you need to get full three-dimensional defined looking shoulders in no time. So first, we have to start with dumbbell overhead presses because this is an exercise that you can do with just 2 dumbbells.
Now here, what you're going to see a common theme here is about how much weight you're using, right? Most guys, generally speaking, lift too heavy in the gym. Most ladies don't lift heavy enough. When my first coach had me doing this, I think she gave me 2 10-pound dumbbells, and after like 8 reps, I couldn't move my arms. Right? I remember going to the gym, feeling kind of stupid. I was the only dude there, I felt like, with these little ass weights. It is what it is, right? If I'd used heavier weights, A, probably hurt myself. B, I wouldn't have developed these shoulders, right? Because I wouldn't be working the muscles. And for the ladies out there doing 2-pound dumbbells, you're not developing anything either, right? There's a happy medium.
Effective at targeting the anterior and the lateral shoulder heads. This exercise is very easy to set up and it can be done standing or seated. I recommend doing it seated so that your back is supported.
I agree. Seated is best. Now, in most gyms, you have 2 setups. You'll see a seat with a little short backrest. It depends on your body type. That's usually the one people go to do this kind of exercise. Personally, I prefer the ones with the taller backs. I don't know, it just works for me that way. So it depends which will work for you best.
You can use heavier weights to target your shoulders even better. So take a seat with 2 heavy dumbbells planted on your knees. Then you're going to kick 1 dumbbell up at a time to bring them over your shoulders and rotate your arms.
So when you kick these dumbbells up, right, if you can't maintain them like that, it's too heavy. Right?
From there, press straight up over your head until the dumbbells are almost touching.
Notice when he went all the way up, he didn't lock out his elbows, right? When you lock out a joint, the joint is taking the brunt of all the force of the weight, right? You don't want to do that. Never lock out on anything. Doing a leg press, whatever. You always pretty much want to avoid locking out the joint. Same in martial arts. When you throw a punch, they tend to not lock all the way out, right? You're losing force and you're more likely to injure yourself. Continue.
Then lower back down until...
Notice where he pauses right there. He didn't go all the way down here, right? He paused here. Again, if you can't stop, the weight is too heavy, right? It is what it is. You don't want to come down here because now you're taking the stress, the tension off the muscles that you're trying to recruit, the muscles you're trying to develop, to grow, to stress out, right?
The dumbbells are even with your ears or a little lower, and then repeat for reps. Right alongside this exercise, and what many people consider to be an even better shoulder builder, is the barbell military press. If you have a barbell, this exercise will allow you to load a much heavier weight load since both arms are working together at the same time. Working on increasing the weight load tends to help bulk up the muscles that you're targeting over time. Just like the dumbbells, you can do these standing, but I recommend doing them seated so that your back is supported, as it'll once again allow you to...
Another thing too, if you're doing any of these things standing, I agree, seated is better. Wear a weight belt, right? Because what's going to happen, you're going to try to arch as the weight gets heavy. Your body's trying to stabilize yourself, right? Generally speaking, seated is always going to be better because you want the support for your lower back.
Lift heavier weight. So take a seat and grip the bar about thumb's distance apart from where the knurling starts. Lift the bar off the rack and slowly lower down towards your chest. As you do this, you'll have to shift your head back to give the bar space to pass. Also, you have the option to lower it down right to your chin before pressing back up, but I personally like to get a full range of motion on this exercise, so I like to bring the bar all the way down to my chest.
So I'm going to disagree with him here. I think when you bring it all the way down, you put extra unnecessary stress on the shoulder joints, and it always feels off to me. And when I go heavy, it really feels off. So again, I would recommend not going that deep. Again, everybody's body is different, but if you get any signs of pain, that's not muscle pain, that's your body trying to tell you to, don't not do that.
Before pressing back up and repeating for reps. Another pressing exercise that you should be doing is the Arnold press. Arnold presses allow you to go through an even greater range of motion, giving you a stretch at the bottom that most other pressing exercises simply don't provide. They also target your lateral head better than most other pressing exercises as well. So just like regular dumbbell presses, you'll start by sitting on a bench with the dumbbells on your knees. Then bring the dumbbells up to the starting position, which is going to look like you just completed a bicep curl. Your palms should be facing towards your body and your elbows should be directly under your hands. Next, you're going to press up, and as you're doing that, rotate your hands inward so that at the top of the press, your palms are now facing away from you. Then lower back down while turning your hands back outward and return to the starting position with the dumbbells curled against your shoulders. Then repeat. Next is the bent arm lateral raise. This is an exercise that you definitely want to be doing even if you're already doing.
This is one of the most key exercises out there. Next to the dumbbell press, this is probably the most critical one. If you're trying to develop the side of shoulders, the lateral heads, you have to do this exercise. This is mandatory. If you're not doing this, nothing is going to happen for you. The side lateral, you'll feel it right in here. And again, if you're not feeling it, again, the weight is too heavy or your form is up, right? It's not a back exercise. Although you do use some of the rear delts, you need to feel it in this part of the arm. The other thing here is you want to use a set of wide rep ranges on these, which means a wide range of weights. What do I mean by that? So for example, as low as 6 or 8 and as high as say 15 to 20. The reason being this side of the arm grows great when you're using a variety of reps. It's not just very heavy or very light. For whatever reason, this area of the arm tends to respond best to a combinations. Therefore, if you're only doing heavy, you'll get results for sure. And if you're doing light, you'll get results. But the best results is a combination of both.
Once you're in this starting position, raise the dumbbells to your sides, trying to keep your elbows slightly higher than your hands. Another exercise for the lateral head that I feel is a much better variation than regular lateral raises is the leaning lateral raise. The leaning lateral raise will allow you to get a greater range of motion at the top of the movement, overloading that portion and making.
Another big benefit of this is that it's forcing you to do one arm at a time. Why is this important? Whenever you're doing an exercise, both arms, both legs, what have you, it's hard to truly focus as much as it's a single arm or a single leg. So what you'll find is curls. That's why you see most of the time when guys are doing curls, it's alternating right, left, right. Talking for dumbbells, you don't typically see a guy with 2 dumbbells just going like this, right? You can do that, but it's significantly more effective when you're trying to make this mind-muscle connection to feel the muscle. If you're just moving the weight and you're not feeling the muscle, you're just moving the weight. It's like you're playing with the weights. You see this a lot on back exercises. Guys will be using heavy ass weight and they're not really working their back. See this on the lat pull-on machine all the time. Same thing with the ladies. They're yanking away at the weight, not really feeling the muscle. Doing one arm like this, holding on to something, it forces you to focus on that arm. You'll try it. Just do a simple experiment. Try with both dumbbells and then switch to one. You'll notice you feel it more in that arm.
Harder to complete. To perform leaning lateral raises, you'll first need something sturdy that you can hold on to. Either a racked barbell or a squat rack will work just fine, but anything sturdy that you can hold on to while leaning away will work. So in this demonstration, I'm going to grab the post of a squat rack, and then from there, you want to walk your feet closer to the post while straightening the arm that's holding onto it so that you're leaning out to one side. Then simply raise the dumbbell up and out to your side while keeping your elbow slightly bent. Raise the dumbbell all the way up until your arm is parallel to the ground, then lower back down and repeat. Now the truth is that it's easy to target the front heads of your shoulders with compound exercises like most presses to the point that it's not really necessary to do isolation exercises like frontal raises.
I agree with this 100%. You don't want to overtax your body. I don't do front raises anymore. Just enough bench pressing, you're hitting the front delts pretty much in any pressing motion. So to compound it by doing specific front lateral raises is usually not that important in my opinion, unless you have a lot of time in the gym or you're more advanced and you're really trying to tweak this one body part specifically. But again, it's not really necessary for most people.
Because you are determined to transform your body, you made it to the end of this video. To get more tips about how to look great and feel even better, check out one of these videos you see on the screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. So later's my massive. Me I go long now. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's goodbye my people.